Alright guys, today's a big day because we have our first Ferrari review on the channel. It's one of the latest models to come out.
My guy, that is not a Ferrari.
No, this is a Ferrari. It's got scissor doors.
Do your thing, bro.
Whatever, anyway. So this Italian beast is quite different from other Ferrari models that have come out recently, and that's because it's using a 5.5 naturally aspirated V8 motor, which is certainly a lot different from the turbocharged V8s that Ferrari's been putting out recently. And we love a naturally aspirated V8, especially one that revs high. This one revs all the way to 8,600 RPM. This thing absolutely screams. But let's talk about the looks for a second, because there's definitely a lot to love about the way Ferrari have reverted to a more simplistic design for this car. It definitely reminds me a lot more of the 360 and 430, but it still has a nice blend of modern hard edges to it, which is really nice. We know this thing is going to put some serious power down when looking at how wide the rear and front tires are on this car, which overall adds to a super sporty stance for this vehicle. Italy has really outdone themselves. And something I was told you could option for this Ferrari are carbon fiber wheels, which are incredibly expensive and probably really risky in terms of potentially curb rashing them and stuff like that. So it's probably a good thing that Jesse, the owner, didn't option that for this car, because it's probably just not worth the hassle. What he did do instead is have these wheels custom made for this car, which honestly looks really good in combination with this Amplify orange color. And honestly, what a strange name for a Ferrari, Amplify orange. That sounds like really American. Normally they have names like Assetto something or Ferocia Fiorano something. Amplify orange, that's really different. Overall, I really like this car though. It just screams supercar in every sense of the word in terms of the design, which makes perfect sense because Ferrari's a supercar company. The rear end is also looking quite mean as well. We've got these quad tailpipes, which is slightly different from the Ferrari 458's 3 tailpipes, which is normally what they do on those cars. You can tell the car's performance oriented because there's just so many like cutouts for air to travel throughout the car. We've got one right there, you've got another right there, and obviously the front, you have these huge intakes for the radiators to get as much cool air as possible. The interior is a really nice place to be in this car, and this might be a hot take, but I think the fit and finish here is a lot better than most other Ferraris made, and especially in the 2010s. It's just really nice and plush in here, and Ferrari's really done something different with this car. I'm not used to having the dual screen layout here. Typically Ferraris just have the one, but it is nice to have a nice big touchscreen, and there's honestly a lot of other amenities in this car as well. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you've got heated and ventilated seats, there's plenty of storage compartments here. You've even got a spot to hold your phone and wirelessly charge it, which is sick. Oh, and the owner, Jesse, is so hilarious. He's got this funny mod here. Not only did he do a Corvette sticker on the steering wheel, but when you boot up the car like this, it says Corvette on the screen, which is absolutely hilarious. Like, GM could never. Another thing that I think is really interesting is that Ferrari's gone with this squircle kind of shaped steering wheel, which is super different for them. They normally go with a circular with a flat bottom. And I guess you could go with a circular aftermarket steering wheel, but just don't make it public. Don't make sure Ferrari knows about it. You don't want to end up like Whistling Diesel. And a major shout out to Ferrari for ditching those awful JBL speakers and going with a Bose setup that sounds so much better for the price. Honestly, I'm not sure what's up with this car, but it's turning out to be one of the most practical and dailyable and comfortable Ferraris I've ever gotten to witness from a functionality standpoint. It's really bizarre. Was this hard to get an allocation for? Did Ferrari give you the runaround and try to get you in a Portofino or something like that?
They tried everything, right? They wanted to give me a SF90 straight up whatever. They wanted to even throw an F40 at it. They're like, hey, look at this F40 is sitting right here, all that stuff. But no, getting a allocation for this, for me personally, wasn't too difficult, mainly because I have an amazing partnership with the brand. But for a lot of other people, it has been difficult. There's not a lot of these out there. It sucks for a lot of people who are really wanting, the Z06, but man, it'll come from a lot of people.
And do you think they're going to give you a cease and desist for the doors?
Cease and desist for these doors, maybe. I've heard that can happen sometimes. If there's one thing I don't like is getting in and out of it. A little bit tough, not easy with how wide this thing is. You know, past versions have been a bit easier to get in and out of. This one's a little bit tougher. I think just mainly because of the width, and then from where you're sitting in the car to where you get out, there's just a decent portion that's just, you haven't seen it before in past versions. Favorite feature about this car is even at low speeds, low RPMs, this car sounds absolutely incredible. I mean, this 5.5 liter flat plane crank V8 has been just incredible. The sound, it's amazing. You don't have to string it out all the way to 86, 8700 RPM. At low speeds, it still sounds good, which is awesome. There hasn't been a lot of these versions before where at low speeds it just sounded good, especially stock.
Yeah, it's crazy how Ferrari just decided one day to just go back to the naturally aspirated V8s. It's kind of bizarre, but hopefully they continue that trend. This video is sponsored by me, even though I don't really have that much money to pay myself right now. But yeah, we finally have merch, and you might have seen it already in videos on this channel or perhaps other channels, but we've pretty much been working on this all year, and we're so excited to finally release it to you all. Your car might not be reliable, and your friends and family might not even be reliable, but you know what is? Our new Reliable t-shirt, available in a few different colors. I pretty much rock this every week, and it's definitely one of my favorites. This is for the people who have gauge clusters that are lit up like a Christmas tree. And for my wagon lovers out there, we have wagon supremacy. You see, a lot of people have this incorrect opinion that fast wagons aren't just absolutely amazing, and that just isn't true. And so this t-shirt is for those people who disagree with that incorrect opinion. We have a beautiful E30 silhouette because that's one of my favorite wagons ever. And this is just one of my favorite designs ever. I rock this shirt all the time. I personally love a good sweater, and that's why we have the Fast as F Boy design. This is for all the people gapping supercars with Honda Civics and a laptop. And it's still pretty hot outside right now, but once fall and winter hits, you're definitely gonna see me rocking this a lot more on the channel because it's super comfortable, keeps you warm, and it's just a great design. It's absolutely timeless. But yeah, links down below if you'd like to buy, which absolutely supports the channel. And we've of course got more designs coming soon, but I wanted to put these 3 out for you guys first. And if you buy one, tag me on Instagram because I'll definitely repost it. All right, back to the video. So this car is kind of Ferrari going back to its roots. You don't have some silly little 4-liter turbocharged V8 that's in a bunch of other cars right now. A nice 5.5-liter flat plane crank, naturally aspirated engine making a crap ton of power. The flat plane crank aspect of this engine essentially means that the crank pins are arrayed in a way that allows the connecting rods to be laid flat, which allows for lighter rotating parts and allows the engine to spin up quicker and give you that nice high RPM. And like I said, 5.5 liters producing 670 horsepower, making this the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 engine of all time. And what better company to do that than the Prancing Horse? And compared to other supercars I've driven lately, one thing I definitely love are these paddle shifters. I know everyone wants a stick shift, right? But if we're gonna have an automatic, we want the automatic to be fun, and just the engagement you get of clicking that paddle shifter, you know, downshifting, it feels really, really good. So the V8 is paired with an 8-speed dual clutch automatic, and this thing is just the bee's knees. I always am a proponent of having a good automatic versus just having a manual of any kind, and this DCT definitely fits the bill. It's super light and quick to shift. You don't feel like you're waiting on the car to downshift so you can accelerate. It's just super quick to respond, super livable, even at low speeds as well. And it makes the car feel like a purpose-built track weapon that you can actually daily drive. Moral of the story here is that Ferrari DCTs have really come a long way. And speaking of normal usage, the mag ride in this car makes it super dailyable, to be honest. It handles normal bumps and uneven road surfaces pretty well for a supercar. And it honestly makes me wonder why Ferrari's built a car like the Purosangue when you have such a dailyable car like this. Does it feel like a Rolls Royce in here? No, not necessarily, but if we're talking about something you could drive every day, I think this certainly fits the bill. I think it just depends on where you live. This doesn't have all-wheel drive, it's rear-wheel drive, but I feel like if you live somewhere that doesn't have a lot of snow, you could get away with it. I think by far the best thing about driving this car, besides the dynamics, how well it handles sharp corners and turns, is the sound. Just listen to that. Even at low RPMs, this thing sounds absolutely fantastic. I could listen to this every day. Honestly, there's a lot that confuses me about this car. It has the practicality of like a run-of-the-mill GM car, and it actually looks better than Ferrari's current flagship, the SF90. It has like the heart of the 458 engine, but just better, more powerful, honestly sounds more exotic. It's almost as if Ferrari took the 458 engine, reversed engineered it, and then tried to make it wait a minute. It says Corvette on the screen, which is absolutely hilarious.
A lot of people who are really wanting the Z06, but
It's like GM Endeavor. Oh, okay. I get it now. Well, General Motors, well played. The new Z06 is truly setting a benchmark for what a sports car is capable of, and many people are putting this Vet in the supercar category. Whether it deserves that title, well, I think we'll have to wait till I can get my hands on a press car and really dive in for a week or so to see. But thanks to Jesse for letting me drive his Z06 for a bit, and thanks to Victor and Grant at Everything Auto for getting me these beautiful rolling shots of the car, and make sure you check out their channel. And subscribe to this channel for future content like this if you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. More fun, sporty stuff coming soon.